And then maybe we can give the Wand of Magic Missiles to Tammy.
I'm down with that.
So you guys are leaving Schwergekin with the Tomb of Identification?
Yes.
Okay. So we have Bazoit.
So
You
what
took the
was-
Tomb of Leadership and Influence, right?
Yes.
And then Seth grabbed the looking
Moonstone.
Wand of Magic Missiles and the Bastard Sword of Wounding.
And the Moonblade.
Yeah, I already got the Moonblade.
Okay.
Off. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did Boogie
5,
pick out
6,
anything
7,
else?
9, 10, 11. You guys are technically at 11 items, but Calamacy counted her Vorpal Sword as 12, and Boogie only got 1 item.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sure. No one wants the Sending Stones. That surprises me.
Oh, I want them.
All right. He's sitting there doing a count. Okay, that is everything, yeah? And he goes to pull the sheet over. Seth, a brief moment. The sheet blocks his vision between the Sending Stones on your left, your hand on the right, and then his sheet even right of that, and then him between the sheet and you. You spot probably about a 3-second window that you can swipe the Sending Stones if you want to take it.
No, I'll just ask him how much they cost.
Okay. Una memento. Oh, for you? It is very cheap, sir. You are a hero, evidently, and I do want you to have, and you can see sweat in his face getting red, like everything he's saying is kind of lied or forced. The best quality items from Schwegekin shop. A humble price of 400 gold.
War. Oh, he was gonna clutch his chest. Oh, that's man.
Oh, what's this, Ron? Are you having a mental condition from being weighed down by the items you've taken from me? Please, set them down. You're straining yourself, sir.
Wow, that's man. It's a shame that those will never be used to save some family or alert some general that a warband is coming. And he's gonna shake. I'm gonna shake my head, kind of disappointedly.
Yes, tragic, he says as he tucks it away nicely back with all his nice, and he's like rearranging what he has. His hands are
I'll
shaking.
offer up 200 if you want to get the other 200.
200 gold, and he reaches in and pulls
No,
out
I'm
one of the
talking to
Sending Stones.
Emus.
I'll give you half a pair.
Half a pair. Oh. All right, fine. Well, I'll do it, Calamacy.
As you guys pull out the other 200, 400 gold in total, he pulls out the other stone. Pleasure doing business with you today. I thought I would lose all my items and have no gold to show for it, other than this chump change for the sword, he says as he looks back at the Vorpal sword.
Maybe it's a good idea that someone who's always wearing their hood has the Sending Stone, and then party members that don't always wear a hood have the other stone.
Smart.
Put your hood on.
No, I have cooler cloaks.
Just clashes with my style.
I'm usually always wearing a cloak. I don't have any others, so since I paid for half of it, I'll just hold on to the other one of the stones.
Cool.
Okay.
But Zoe,
Okay.
as you hold this book, you can feel this energy oozing out of it. There's like actual enchantment magic within the confines of the binding of the book. It's not just a book.
Sweet.
Well, I'd like to head back to be able to hand over the items we got to Salatami and Agatha and Tammy. I don't think we got anything for Tammy.
Was that not the magic missiles?
The
Oh,
No,
Wand
I
of
gave.
Secrets.
Yes, I
I
did.
got the Wand of Secrets for her.
Oh, okay, then we got 2 things for her then.
Well, the
Super.
magic missiles could also go to something else.
I thought that was for Mariah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So
we
you guys
got
are
him a wand of magic missiles.
you guys heading back to the ship?
I just kind of want to get away and then. But where are we going?
Want to kind of get away and that you cut out with the end.
And then we can fly. But where
Ah.
are we going?
I was thinking we head back to the ship so we can hand over the things we got for our companions. And then we can discuss what we want to do next.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I just immediately get on my griffin and make a bit of space, so like go 30 or 40 feet away and start heading that direction.
All right. Is everyone
look
following
over-
him?
I look over at my griffin and I ask him, "Would you mind, for the first time, us flying back to the ship?"
And it does like this like husky like pounds forward and then a deep bow, like a playful bow where it almost touches its beak to the ground and it runs under you and lifts you, like goes under your legs and like tosses you back onto its back.
Awesome. This is gonna be fun.
And you guys all take off, I'm assuming.
Yes.
As you
Yes,
do
sir.
so, Shvegakin is like covering his face and like looking with his monocle, and you can hear people gasping and awing and coming to the doorway of the refugees as they like watch you guys take off. And you make your way back towards the ship.
Dang, it would have been really nice to have seen John.
As you guys approach from the sky, you can see what appears to be Mariah on the back of the ship, and he's casting some kind of incantation. Let me pull all the players here. I forget that. Let's take you. Zoid, Amasi. As you guys approach, you see what looks like this big kind of circular deal protruding out of the back of the ship here. You can see Mariah casting this kind of spell, and there's this long, curved piece of wood that is like wrapping around from the tip here back to the tip here, making a kind of a half circle out the back of the ship. And you can see Tammy on top, who's kind of guiding him. And as he gets closer, she's wrapping these straps around, and you hear hammering and some casting by Mariah, and you see the wood almost kind of like change and meld into each other, almost like the wood is becoming like a hot glue and then like spreading into the other wood. What are you guys doing?
That's some cool transmuting he's doing.
Emus is going to call out for Agatha and Celatami to come on over.
And Tammy?
Yeah, or Agatha and Celatami.
What about Tammy?
Tammy's busy. I'll talk to her later.
So how are you yelling out for him? You just yelling,
Yeah.
"Sell Tommy!"
Yeah.
So a few moments pass. Mariah and Tammy are like looking down at you, and Tammy's like, "Shh, what are you doing, dude? She's sleeping." And almost like that, I Like a Feet guy from the Adam Sandler movie, Silatami just like very quickly and deftly appears within 5 feet behind you. And he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
When Tammy hushes down to us, I'm gonna say, "Hey, are you busy? Can you come down here for a minute?"
Almost right there, Mariah. Come, perfect, right there. And as the other side gets knocked into place, she nods and then tosses a rope down and slides her way over, and then makes her way off the ladder. And then after a little bit of swinging, makes a jump.
The
She,
va-
she looks up proudly. What do you think about the griffin nest we're making?
Ooh, smart. I love it.
And she puts her hands on her hip. Thank you. Thank
What
you.
is it?
A
a-
griffin nest, she says, pointing her
Oh, that is awesome.
gnome thumb at it.
Very good. Very good. Great
Thank you.
thinking, Tammy.
Mariah, we got gifts.
Is the bastard sword of wounding? Is it in a sheath?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so Emus is going to kind of juggle through the items he's carrying, and he's going to get the bastard sword of wounding out, and he's going to draw it from its sheath and trying to like impress a little bit, do some like expert slashes to the air, like I'm parrying something, and then I'm going to flip it over and present it hilt first to Celatani.
He raises an eyebrow. And he says in broken common, gift for me?
Emus is going to grin and kind of like shove it into his chest more.
And he looks surprised and takes a step back, and he pulls the blade slightly out, checking the edge alignment. And he looks impressed, and he looks over at you, kind of confused.
And
And
I'm gonna-
in broken common, he says, "Why I worth?"
I would chip in worth more.
He looks like, seeing that from a female, he looks confused and awkward, but he definitely seems to appreciate the sword, and he's checking it out, and he's like running his finger along it. It almost looks like in some way, like as he tilts it, like he's listening to it in a, like almost like it's speaking to him, but who knows? It could just be a cultural thing.
Emus is going to go ahead and toss him the sheath for it. And in doing so, he's also going to just tell him, practice every day.
He looks at you, squints, and thinks for a moment about what you're saying, and nods, thinking that he understands, and says, "Always." He's gonna just turn and walk over, looking at the sword.
As he's examining his sword, I'm gonna pull out the wand of secrets. I'm gonna say, Tammy, I got you something.
I get gifts too? And she runs
You
over.
gifts too? This is super cool. This is the wand of secrets.
Ooh, and she grabs it, looking it up and down. What's it do?
So once a day, you can use this up to 3 times, and you can open a portal if you ever get in danger, and you can escape. I think that's what I read about it.
She raises
That
her
doesn't sound
eyebrow.
right.
What?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, but no offense, Bezoit, you didn't sound super confident. She's like looking down at.
Well, we'd only had so much time to look through the stuff to choose, but I'm pretty sure that's what it does.
No,
I mean, it might do something more.
it doesn't do that.
What?
She holds it from tip to tip and she nods. I'm excited to try it. Thank you. If this helps me escape, I'll stay out of so much trouble now. And she finds a little notch on her belt and starts hanging the holster.
Did what's his face also come down?
Who,
Oh, it
Mariah?
opens a trapdoor.
Mariah or Agatha?
Mariah.
No, Mariah's still. She went down, but he's still checking the framework for the nests.
Mariah, we got something for you too. I'm gonna call up.
His head snaps around. You found another griffin feather. And he rushes down
Oh.
the ladder and he jumps. Oh, do I get to fly with you guys? Oh, thank you so much.
Well,
Honestly, I haven't been here very long, guys, but you guys are the most generous, awesome group of people I've ever met.
Then while he's babbling on, Emus just gonna kind of sheepishly hold up the wand with the magic missiles.
What
And
did
he
he
looks-
think he got?
He looks it up and down and he goes, "Where's the
Griffin
Oh.
feather.
When his face starts to turn like very red. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for that. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much." And he reaches
Thought
out.
that he got to fly.
Do you think a magically turned griffin feather is the same thing? Like, is that a possibility? Not that I would pluck one out right now, but if one fell out.
I don't know how it works, honestly. Any sad look crosses his face. I would like to ask Headmaster. I hope he's okay. And he looks down at the wand. It's great craftsmanship, though. Thank you very much. I do appreciate this. He's gonna tuck it
As
into his
that
belt.
conversation's ending, I'm gonna say, Celatami.
He's currently over in the shadows, swinging his sword away from the group.
Well, I'm gonna
Actually,
holler at
Mariah,
him.
why don't you ask the headmaster how it's going over there? And I guess you could, ask if he has an extra griffin feather while you're at it. But
He reaches back and strokes his hands through like the feathery part of his on the back of his neck. And he looks sad. He says, I don't know why, but the headmaster hasn't been responding to any of the messages I send.
Mm.
Calamity, I just want you to know that I'm super jealous that you don't get to sleep next to all of our griffins in your little hammock.
I'm gonna holler louder, Celatami, and motion for him to join us again.
He takes another deft swipe with the sword, and his ear turns, and he looks back at you, and very skillfully, quickly slides the sword away in its sheath. And he's kind of like looking at how he wants to put it. You see him like put it on his back, kind of, and check the angle for the pool to see if it works. And he comes out, the clouds parting, some sun coming down, and he blocks his vision, reaches into his bag and pulls out that visor cap you'd made him, and pulls it tight over his eyes. And before coming over, he takes some paste, some black paste, and paints it really thick underneath of his eyes. And he approaches you with his head down low, blocking his eyes.
As he approaches us, I reach out and I hand him the staff of Python, and I say to Celatami, gift. And then I'm going to look at Boogie and I'm going to say, can you tell him family in Underdark?
yeah, so once you asked that, even before the undercommon, I started trying to think through that and find the word.
His head is still low and you can't see his eyes with the visor, but his hands hold out for the gift. And as you put it down and you ask Boogie to say family, he says so. And you watch as the drow's fingers grip around the staff, and he doesn't say anything, but you see what appears to be a drop of water come out from underneath the visor and land on the deck of the bridge. And he just nods slightly, and then he says this drow word that Boogie, after probably a brief amount of thought, you recognize as the most severe level of gratitude the drow language is capable of expressing.
Okay, I'll pass those things on.
Sweet.
And after a moment of sitting there, he looks down a little bit more, takes a deep breath, and he turns around and kind of like, almost like a boy not knowing how to handle affection, runs off and disappears now deeper into the woods.
Well, if you all want to decide what our next step's going to be, I'm going to go drop this off for Agatha, and then Amos is going to go board the ship.
As you walk in, you see a bundle of blanket and hear a slight snore.
Hmm.
Little there. I'm gonna look around for some parchment paper. She's sleep floating.
And there you find some pretty easily in here.
All right. I'm
What's
just
up,
gonna
Zoe?
I'm just gonna scribble down a quick note that says, Moonblade gift from Emus. Use carefully. Love Emus. And then he's gonna kind of lay it next to her in her bed, bunk, and leave.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Tammy and Mariah are rambling on now. giddy and excited talking about their new gifts, but also about all the plans and everything they have in place, and how Mariah thinks that with some of the knowledge he has from Shadowdale and how they use the power crystals, that they could get this ship up floating within a pretty reasonable amount of time.
Well, I think that we should hang out for the captain's return and from the reinforcements. Maybe we can put together a group from the reinforcements that they're receiving and try to go back and reclaim Shadowdale with it.
And then excited as he's sitting there rambling, you feel a like excited hit on your chest, but it's a little harder because of the excitement that it kind of hurts. Mariah like hits you in the chest and then turns around with wide eyes, realizing what he just did. I'm so sorry, but I have an idea.
Okay, yeah. Oh, he must kind of rotate his arm. Yeah, what's your idea?
Tammy said you guys had found Earth motes. Is that true?
He was gonna scratch his chin for a second. Oh yeah, that seems like ages ago. And then he's gonna start rumbling through his pockets trying to find a vial of one.
No. We don't need the Earth motes, but motes exist for every element. And if we can find air elementals, we can get some air motes, which will make this ship go super fast, I think. And his eyes get like really wide as he's sitting there thinking about it. And then he starts scratching his chin. He's like, but we're going to have to upgrade the material of the sails. The sails aren't going to be able to handle that level of wind. And he starts like just rambling on to himself.
Okay. Well, do you know where we can find? Well, like where are air motes commonly found?
I know you can find them wherever air elements are, but they're normally up in mountainous peaks and generally wherever the wind is most.
Well, do we want to go on an adventure to try to find some air motes?
I want to save my instructor.
It would be a good time to learn how to ride the griffins and bond with them while getting something useful for the ship.
Mariah speaks up and says, if you guys did, I think with the power crystals alone, we should have this thing up out of the water within 3 days.
Where how far away is the nearest mountain peak?
The nearest mountain peak is
Directly through the Feywild.
Yeah, but we can fly there.
Oh yeah, just fly over the Feywild. Ain't no biggie.
okay. There are the desert mouth mountains near you. There are actually mountains that are like there's mountains that connect the southern to your south. There's the Thunder Peaks, and then to your northeast there's the Desert Mouth Peak mountains, and in between those two there's like a range of mountains that are pretty close actually. Let's see. Yeah, probably about a day's flight away. Maybe about 8-hour flight to the southeast. You'd come upon the foothills of the Thunder Peak Mountains.
What do you guys think? I want to go for it.
I want to attempt to save my instructor.
Save them from what?
From Shadowdale.
Well, we sent them a message that we were coming back here.
Right. And since then we've seen we saw a vision of a silver dragon getting killed by the bad guys.
Wow, I mean, we
And-
don't know if that's happening for sure.
And also since then we've gotten the ability to fly, so we could probably scout it out pretty well.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I was like thinking we'd wait for the reinforcements that the guard here sent out for that are on their way. We would go with them up there, back up to Shadowdale, so we wouldn't be alone. And in the meantime, we can take the time to maybe train some skills we've been wanting to train, get some these air motes to try to help the ship go faster.
I think that saving them is probably more urgent than waiting 4 days.
Well,
But
that's going off of the assumption that they need to be saved, right? We have no evidence that they need to be saved or that they're in danger outside of like normal danger.
yeah, we're not sure whether they're alive, whether they're in danger. Um, we
Well,
really ought to use some sending right now.
Yeah,
We've got lots with
yeah,
us.
let's do it.
I don't know if Mariah has met all of our instructors that are in that group.
Mariah, would you be able to cast a sending spell for us?
He nods. Of course, as long as I meet the requirements.
I don't remember what the requirements are. Can you refresh me on what the requirements are?
Yes, I just have to have had met the person.
Have you met Lady Ashina?
Yashina. Thanks for a moment. Name doesn't ring a bell necessarily, but I can try and see if it sends.
We could always have him cast a
No.
sending spell to someone that he knows who might know our instructors. Kind of like telephone it.
That's what I was trying, Lady Ashina, because she was the head person here at Shadowdale for a while.
Right.
I had
Yeah,
he
but the
kind of
headmaster's not answering.
like froze his brow at you. Do you mean Lady Silverhand? Storm, the famous adventurer.
Yes.
Yes, I have met her before. Sorry, I don't know her by Lady Ashina.
No problem. Okay, then she would be our best bet to be able to contact our instructors through you.
All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah, let's start
Ask-
writing it up.
yeah, what do we want to send? I say that we send. We're safe in Rivington. I'm holding for now, unless you need help.
Let's write it out.
Okay.
How about we
Already.
write out everything we could possibly want to say and then shorten
Yeah,
it
sure.
from there?
Already safe in Rivington. Plan to rest and regroup unless help is needed now. Okay, that's my contribution.
Do remember that Thorin, Raphael, Lady Ashina, and I believe Oliver were all there at Shadowdale with you. And then, what was it? Oliver, Raphael, and Thorin, I believe, went off with each other.
And Lady Ashina went to Agatha's mom.
Correct.
Oh, real quick, possibly just looking at my inventory. Do I have the Sword of Stealing, which has the teleport ability, or does Thorin have that sword?
I think you have it because Thorin wanted to use his axe or whatever his preferred weapon is.
That's also how I remember it.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. Thanks.
By sort of stealing.
Sword
You're
of
not talking
Life
about the-
Stealing.
Okay.
Now, it's named that, but it doesn't actually give you any health back. It just does necrotic damage on a crit.
I thought you meant the sword that you have that seems to steal some kind of essence from the dragons that you slay with it.
No, I have that called Lost Sword. Also, I just call it Lost Sword +1. but now I've talked to him and gotten his name.
Indigo Montoya. My
Yes,
enemy is
exactly.
dragons. Prepare to die.
His name wasn't that similar to any of mine.
Okay, anybody? I think between what me and Emus have written down, this is all the stuff we would want to say.
All right, so party safe in Rivington. Plan to rest and regroup, unless help is needed now. I think that's pretty to the point. But then we actually have to tag on to the message to Ashina so that she knows to forward us. Forward.
Those two messages together would be 24 words. So you'd have one extra word.
I don't think we're.
I mean, we could always use 2 messages if we wanted even more,
No.
but like,
We can make. So this is what we're going to send to Lady Ashina. Forward to allies. Well, how should we say that? Forward to who? So that she knows get us to the right people. Because she might not know that there are. I can't remember if she knows that there are former instructors or not.
Forward to our most loyal, maybe?
well, I mean, she would know the other instructors, right?
Teachers? Forward
Like,
to instructors?
Since we were all in a school, so we could just ask for a specific one.
You guys know for sure that the instructors, at a very minimum, some of them have like interpersonal relationships, but they are all aware of each other. They're all heroes in their own right. Like there is legend behind each of them. They're not just nobodies. So they at least know each other on a professional matter level.
So could I say forward to Raphael?
You may, but we either need to get some words gone or send 2 sending spells.
No, we're gonna do this in one. Forward, forward to. Does anyone? Because
You could
Raphael
just
was one.
say share.
Oh, how about
Forward to share.
No, just share. Because you have
Well-
one word left, so you could just say share.
Forward is one word.
That we're nixing forward altogether. And instead saying share because there's one word left. So it would be period after the last sentence. One word left. Share is the last word. To let
Okay.
her know to share to
Party
other
is
people.
safe. Rivington. Holding. I know. Help needed. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I did it in 10 words, so we have 10 more words we can use. Party is safe, Rivington. Holding for now. Help needed. Share.
Oh shoot, that's unnecessarily short. Instead of help needed, well, actually,
I can say share with other. Share with. I mean, I can put name. We have enough in the with this for like we use names like.
Maybe a share with stars. Because they would be the other
Ooh.
stars of Mistra.
I like to think that in wizarding school, there's a whole course that goes on to like people practicing sending and how to like make
Interpret messages, yeah.
concise, make it concise, yeah. Almost like a sending code, like for like military operations.
use
Hold on. Let me pull up Chat GPT real quick.
you use some sort of arcane words in order to do shorthands for like certain phrases.
Yeah.
So how about instead of share, my last sentence. Does Raphael need a ride home?
Where I feel so specifically.
Because he's one of the 3.
Well, that's why I'm asking. Help needed? Question mark.
Yeah, but like she might just assume. Well,
Sharing with stars.
if it was just help needed, she might think. Do
Okay.
does
Is help
she need
needed?
help? But well, no. If it was just help, is help needed? she might think, well, no, I don't need help. I'm not in any danger.
Well, then that's why I'm saying share with others. Like repeat the, or how about instead of share, how about repeat to others?
Or could we take out holding for now and instead put party is safe in Rivington. Travel to Mithranor, question mark, help needed, question mark. And then repeat with stars report back or whatever.
Emus Calamacy, your warrior instincts, your ears perk as you hear some kind of movement in the water just out of vision on the east side of the bridge.
In the water?
Yes.
I
Emus,
would turn and pay closer attention to that.
And as you look down, you see what appears to be a large school of fish. Some begin emerging out of the water and jumping, and they all appear to be coming from further downstream. And it looks like some kind of spawn annual thing occurring right now.
Interesting.
But you realize it's not a monster, and your
1,
anxieties and
2, 3, 4,
adrenaline calm
5,
down.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I've got 16 words there. I think it's pretty to the point. Party is safe in Rivington. Maybe travel to Mithranor. Anyone need help? Repeat with stars, report back. How's that?
I feel good about that personally.
I think it
Tammy and
sounds good.
Mariah are ignoring you guys now and go to the edge and start watching the fish inside the water. Oh, she points. Look at that one. And you notice the side of them there. It's like this prismatic color, and when the sun catches their side just right, it like creates this rainbow effect, as if there's a rainbow underneath the water. Mariah turns around. Oh, I'm so sorry. Um, the sending spell. Do you have what you wish to send to Lady Silverhand?
So I've got another option.
I'm also okay with that one.
That one also does work, yeah. I don't know why you need to focus on red steel, though, but alright. Well, should we vote for 1 or 2? Should we rewrite it into 1? Bezoit, you've been quiet.
I agreed with the last one that you just did.
Okay. So, since I have some words left, let's go ahead and clarify. Party is safe in Rivington. Maybe travel to Mithranor. Ooh, that's adding the wrong message. Anyone need help? Slash trans or help or transport? Does that get your Griffin thing that you wanted, Andrew? Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Anyone need help or airlift? How about airlift?
Yeah,
How about
that's
Good? Good. Let's send it.
Yeah, I am fine with either.
Two, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
yeah. Either of these two would work.
Okay. So you give the message agreed upon to Mariah to send, and he closes his hands together, overlapping them, kind of facing his palms, one down, one up, touching each other. And he opens his hand slightly. This orb of light appears in his hand, and it begins to kind of like vibrate. It almost like ripples the way like a vocal thing does when you're watching, like, yeah, it just ripples. Like I don't know how to describe it. And it almost looks like it's being affected by a voice. And after a moment, he closes his hands and listens, and he opens his mouth and says, "She responded. Do you want to write this down?"
Emus is
Yes.
gonna grab the paper and quill he used earlier.
He says, "Good. That is a relief. Come to Mithranor immediately. Please bring Agatha. New oracles seem concerned. Keep her safe at all costs."
Cool.
Well, okay, then I guess we have a direction that we want to go in. Hmm. I still would want to try to grab some air motes before we leave, but that's just me.
Can you
Yeah.
repeat that one more time?
It's in chat in the
Thank you.
7 stars.
So I'm with Emus. I think that all of the modifications might be able to be made, or half of them, just with the assumption that we're going to come back with some air modes.
Could you let us know what the what we think the travel time would be via either Griffin, by flying ship, or by walking there?
Second stuff.
I don't really want to bring Agatha.
Why not?
Not to Mithranor? Like, that's what we're and the boat are going.
Oh, okay. Damn. Feels like that's where they're probably going to do the sacrifice thingy.